and welcome to the first episode of the Rest of the Iceberg. Today we are going to be discussing the trolley problem. The most common version of the trolley problem is that there are two tracks. On one track there are 5 people, and on the other track there is 1 person. You cannot stop the trolley, however you have to kill either 5 people or 1 person.
And you do that by actually pulling a lever. So originally the trolley is facing the 1 person, and you can choose whether to pull the lever so it directs to kill the 5 people, or whether to keep the trolley on the same track. Typically, what do you think of that?
I kill 1 person. I don't know any of these people, but if I had to choose one, I think it makes more sense to save as many people as possible than put them all in danger.
Out of context, you're going to jail for saying that.
I will kill this 1 person with all of my might. I will pack. You know what I do? Even if I think what you made a very good point though is that it's already facing 1 person.
Yeah.
So I already personally I'd feel like this is out of my control. And
Fate.
If it's already, Fate. It's
written in the stars. This person must die.
I hate
A
the argument.
discussion for another episode.
Yeah.
Fate.
I think I would save the more people. It's because, life is sacred, life is beautiful, and I want
So
to
you'll
kill
kill 5 of them.
No. I would only kill 1. I would So yeah, I wouldn't turn the lever. I would
I thought she said I'll kill 5 people.
No,
Life is sacred.
No. Life is sacred, and even though I would feel bad for killing the 1 person, it would be a blight on my conscience for the rest of my days. I would be happy.
No, you know she does English.
Knowing that.
Yeah.
I would be happy knowing that I had saved 5 people, because that's more than 1 person and stuff. Yes.
Shaf, what are you thinking about 1 vs 5?
I think, while studying REP, my teacher introduced utilitarianism, which is essentially the whole idea of, basically creating the greatest pleasure for the greatest number of people. So I think, realistically, looking at it from that perspective, it's kill the 1 person rather than the 5, because you need to think about the families of the 5, which is a much greater number compared to the family of the 1.
I agree with Shaf, because when you think about it, there are going to be 5 people, 5 families that are impacted, whereas the 1 person is just that sole person and that family that's going to get impacted.
Yeah, I think the numbers with 1 are fairly limited, but the numbers with 5, it can extend a lot further.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're right, but I also think it's important to take into consideration that just because there's a greater number of people being hurt, it doesn't make that 1 person's families hurt.
It doesn't make it meaningless.
Yeah,
but
that's what I meant,
it does make it. I'm not going to say better, but it does. It's the most.
It minimizes damage.
The most logical
Exactly.
option.
Yeah.
If you think about it in purely a statistical way rather than an emotional way, someone think about the morals of what you did, then obviously 5 is more than 1. So by doing that you be thinking about it in a logical way.
I think that approach also only applies to certain situations like this. I think sometimes humans are emotional creatures. I feel like you can't always take just a rational approach.
You say that in such a third person way. Humans, that's
Yeah.
not a
You're
human.
an alien from outer space.
I'm actually a UFO. We have confirmed evidence that Shaf has. We need her passport. Where is it?
No, she's not human. She's not
I
human.
do, to clarify, I very much do.
Do what?
I have a passport.
So, now that we've discussed 1 vs 5, what would you guys do if that 1 person was a family member and the 5 person complete strangers?
Okay, I feel like if I could just be the first to speak, I guess. Family member. I'm not gonna say it depends which one, but I feel like it kind of does at the same time. If it's a very distant uncle I've never met before, it's not even an uncle. You know what I mean? The random person that your family knows that he's your uncle from when you were born, who knew you but you never knew. And he was that kind of guy. I feel like it wouldn't make that much difference to people would say, "Oh, he's your family," but is he? Because I don't know him like my family. Where if it's someone like my mum, I think statistically I would have to say I'd kill my mum, but I know I would never do that. I know I couldn't do it. Yes. If I saw her on the track, I know I couldn't change.
She's making a very valid point. I feel like everything we're discussing now, it's not reality. everybody will definitely act differently when you're in the actual situation because they're not under the same stress that you are in this situation as you are in that.
It's like it's just the difference. And personally, I think it's a big problem with the trolley problem is that
It's not realistic.
It's not
you
realistic.
Can't apply
You
the same
can't
logic
apply
in
the
that
same
time
pressure.
frame.
because there's nothing like it. Choosing between a family member to die and 5 random people, it's too much.
It's hypothetical anyway. It's like, like realistically, this never happen. Like, what kind of weird situation would that be in? Like,
Yeah, and I think with like that specific one, I feel like it's very much the whole idea of but everyone must love their family. That's not necessarily true. Like you said, you save your mum, but then some people
They hate them.
they hate
Their mum
their
abused
Some
them.
people
And
don't
some
even know their mum.
Some
Yeah.
people don't have a mum. So it's like realistically for them, what would their situation be and won't it be just entirely different? I feel like with that problem, it was introduced because people are assuming, everybody loves their parent. But they haven't thought about that is not everybody.
I think it depends on the person. It depends on the relative as well.
Of course, but I guess what also is important to mention is that we've just said family member. So it's also, what's the first family member people think of?
I think of my dad.
Mother.
You
I
thought
think-
of uncle. You thought a very distant uncle.
I think my sister probably.
Yeah. See, I would
Aw.
probably say I'd think of both my brothers because I'm so close to them.
Yeah.
If they hear this, they're not really gonna let me live this down. But if they
Make sure to send it to them personally.
We're gonna clip it and we'll send it to them.
I hate my brothers, to make this clear. No, but I mean, if it was my brothers on the tribe, I couldn't. Any family member, any immediate, could never. Tabby, you haven't said anything. What do you think?
Family member all the way.
Oh, jeez.
It's selfish, but
Is it? It's selfless because you're killing one person instead of 5.
no, I
No,
mean
it's
like
selfish for her to
Oh,
choose
right,
the
right,
family
right.
member if it's already.
The 5 people.
yeah.
Oh, that was another thing. In the last one, we said it was directed at the 1 person, but it's not directed at the 5 people. In this one, we're saying it's directed at the 5 people.
Yeah.
I think that just makes the choice so much easier. I feel like, okay, it's fate. The trolley was always supposed to go this way.
Not necessarily though, because you had the choice to change it if you wanted to,
I
but you decided not to.
yeah. I mean, I personally hate the fate argument because I don't understand what the point of trying is. That everything happens for a reason. Okay, and you want me to just like sit here and let it happen?
Yeah.
So, but that's what I mean. If the trolley was already pointing at my mum, would I be able to pull the lever to make the trolley switch tracks? Who knows? I mean, I would, Mum. I love you, but I just gotta. Can you actually? Is the question.
Are you actually physically able to do that? I feel like afterwards as well,
The
you have to think about.
consequences, yeah.
Yeah, you have to think about how you'd actually be able to cope knowing that you killed 5 people.
But knowing you killed them again, it
I mean,
depends. on the
technically, you
person.
didn't kill them. Like, you caused them to die. You had an opportunity,
Yeah,
like,
you
for them to
killed
die.
them.
You know,
I
like,
think
you
I
weren't,
think
like, you didn't,
when-
like, stab them
when you
yourself.
pull that lever,
That is
I-
you killing them
in my mind,
That's
I
you
feel
killing
like
them.
I'm killing them.
because they
Because
wouldn't have
I've
died.
made that happen. If it was just the trolley and I left it be, then it's not me because that was how it was, I want to say destined or meant to be. But that act
it was
of
just a
killing,
coincidence.
as rational as my logic may have been, I still killed them.
I heard this riddle that's quite similar to this. Basically, so this lady, as at the funeral of her mother, she sees this guy, she falls in love with him, decides
Oh, I
she's
know
her
this
dream guy, and then the next day she kills her sister. Why did she kill her sister?
Because it was her sister's husband.
No.
Jesus.
No.
Why did you
Because her
immediately
sister
go with
tried to get
So
with
she was at her mother's funeral and she saw the guy.
But
and then
she's
she
never
killed
met
her
the
sister.
guy before.
Yeah.
It's the first time.
Okay, so what happens after that?
So then she killed
She-
her sister.
Why did she kill her
She
sister?
killed her sister.
She didn't kill her mother though. This is not.
But her mother's dead.
her mother's
Her
dead.
mother is her sister.
Astaghfirullah.
No! According to research, apparently people who answer this correctly are serial killers. Or
No,
like
are
have
psychopaths.
tendencies to psychopaths. I don't know.
Psychopaths.
Yeah.
No, it's because she wanted to see the serial killer again.
Well,
how-
Oh, not the
sister's-
serial killer. Not the serial killer, the
Uh,
dream guy. She wanted to
She wanted
see
to
the
see-
dream guy.
She wanted to see
again.
the dream guy again. So then
Oh,
at her
yeah.
sister's funeral.
Oh.
So she killed her sister just to see her dream guy.
Turns out that
Yeah, but you don't know he's gonna show up.
Exactly,
for
that's what
Turns
shows
out
up.
the
Like,
dream
how
guy's
much-
actually like a grave robber, and he's just
Yeah.
taking the.
They just work at the grave.
Yeah, and then she's like, "Oh my god, I killed my sister." But that's a different whole
Yeah.
thing.
That's
I'm just thinking about that. It's like how you think like completely rationally, but you don't think it's all
Yeah.
like like an actual, human per se would.
Thanks.
Next question. Would you save a celebrity or a scientist if they were both on separate tracks?
Which one?
Depends. Your
That's
favourite?
not a question. In my mind, that will never ever be a question because I've never understood how people can idolize.
No,
some
but you have to.
celebrities.
You have
or
to
celebrities
understand
at all. They're just people who live in our world,
But so is a
and they have a
scientist.
spotlight on them, and we think they're gods. And
No,
I've never understood
Okay,
it.
I understand.
But
what you're saying.
scientists, I get that not all scientists like make cures for everything. Not all scientists are like
But
big
they try
shots.
to
At
help
least
the
they're
world.
still
But
doing
they're
something.
doing something.
But if it's a celebrity,
David Attenborough.
David Attenborough. Okay, no, I was gonna say in a celebrity who contributes a lot to society. You know, they give a lot to charity. They
David.
volunteer. Does he give a lot to charity? I don't know. I feel like it's so easy to say that a celebrity doesn't contribute to society because what we think of celebrity is that they
This
might.
one especially.
Yeah.
Just
No,
despises them.
I think I didn't.
Oh, I thought you meant the
Yeah,
celebrity.
I think
like
I
Shaq.
didn't say that they don't all contribute to society. I'm just saying, in my mind, I think
You don't see
it's
it cute.
almost unhealthy how some people, especially our age, just idolize them.
Taylor
so in
Swift.
my mind,
Oh my God,
I
Taylor
would
Swift.
put a
Hey!
scientist above a celebrity only because it's almost. You also need to realize that some of them, I would say half of them, but a lot of them can actually be rather damaging.
Celebrities.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like the views that some of them express and the things that some of them do, they can be bad influences. And I
Kanye
don't
West.
think-
Yeah, I was gonna say
Oh
that.
my god.
Yeah. Trump.
Yeah.
He was the president. I guess
So-
this is another thing. Does a celebrity have a good reputation? Does they have a bad... You know what? I agree. I would say the scientist, but I also feel like I'm very biased because I take all three sciences for my levels, and I want to be a
Little
scientist.
neat.
I don't. I'm the least sciencey person ever, and I would choose a scientist. So
Same.
Yeah.
Like, I don't take science right now.
Oh, you know what? I just think it's so
Scientist
easy.
mutual all around.
But you know what? I also think that like some people, like you said, because they're so obsessed with celebrities and things like that they would find you and kill you. That you chose a celebrity?
Yeah.
You chose a
Some
celebrity?
people would get defensive over the fact that you chose what you chose. Like, no, you're not allowed to have that opinion. They're the greatest person on earth. Like, it's almost dangerous how people our age, and even like, especially youngers, how they think like that.
At the same time that this is all theoretical, we don't need to consider the idea that everyone's going to come hunting you after you've made your decision.
Yeah.
If it's a world where
Could just happen.
Could just
Maybe
happen.
nobody would even realise.
Those of you who don't know, I'm Muslim. That's banned in Islam, and that's you
Yeah.
know worshipping and idolizing it all. You're not allowed to have statues and things like that.
Yeah, didn't they have that whole event where they had this whole destruction of all of the idols? Somebody destructed all of
yeah.
the idols and the statues, and then when they returned, there was nothing to really idolize. I forgot the name.
I don't know what you're talking about. Is that recently or is that like?
No, that was a very historical.
Oh right, I was like, I
Like,
don't know what
it was in my REP text
Oh, okay.
in GCSEs.
Right. No, I don't know that story. I just know that you're not allowed to in Islam.
that's really interesting because, like, in Christianity, it's like the exact opposite. Like,
Is it?
well, I mean, not
No,
the
it's
exact
not.
opposite. But, like, you get like a lot of
It's
freedom.
one of the Ten Commandments not to idolize anyone else.
Except for Jesus.
Except
Yeah.
for God, yeah.
Wait, God or Jesus?
They're the same sort of. God, Jesus is like a human version of God, I think.
But he's the
yeah,
son of
it's
God.
basically God just in human form.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see.
But you can consider him as a son of God because of the Trinity and everything.
Yeah.
So, real quick, the Trinity is the Holy Spirit. The
The
Holy
Father,
Spirit.
the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
But they're all separate, but also it's really confusing
Same.
because they're all separate but all the same at the same time.
I'm really sorry. I don't know a lot about other religions. I need to educate myself. I actually do. It's so bad.
It's interesting.
It's interesting.
You get into it pretty quick.
I would have if I took RS GCSE, but they didn't include it in my timetable. So here we are today.
Here's another twisted one. 3 20-year-olds versus 5 sleeping 3-year-olds.
Right.
No, that is a no.
The reason
That
why-
reminds me of my
You know what? At
sister.
that point, I'm
Oh,
jumping
sorry.
out the trolley.
The reason why I put this down was because we were having like this conversation about age in sociology and stuff, and I came out and I was still thinking about us doing the podcast, and I realized realistically what a 3-year-old experiences, think about their quality of life compared to 3 20-year-olds who have planned their whole entire, who have probably planned their whole entire future and have the mind and capacity to think about their future.
It's kind of like the pro-choice versus pro-life stuff, isn't it?
Is it? Oh my goodness.
Kind of. I mean, I don't want to get into that, like a huge thing. Like, you know, it's like thinking about how it's like when do you become like an actual human? Like when do your thoughts, or when you like start thinking like, for yourself and trying to come up with things.
Yeah, I mean, do any of us remember anything from when we were 3 years old or younger?
I remember something when I was... Actually, I do.
Yeah?
I remember it because I was 3 years old and 9 months.
Mm-hmm.
What do you remember from your own memory or because your family?
No, because I remember it from my own memory.
Yeah.
And hand on heart, I can say I remember it from my
Yeah.
own memory. I was in the hospital because my little brother was born, and I remember it so well. It's like my earliest memory. I walked in and I saw him then, and I remember thinking, he has a mop for a head. He was so hairy, and I was so confused because I actually couldn't speak when I was very young. So my parents, they told me, but I couldn't like process it or something.
Yeah.
So I was like, who is this baby sleeping next to my mummy with this mop
My
for a
mummy?
head?
Yeah.
And my mum was like, this is your brother. And I remember this well because I pointed at my older brother. And I was like, no, he is. No, you're sweet.
This one's a scammer.
This was a scammer. He's a fraud. With that being said, little bro, I do. Yeah, I remember you being born.
But that's the thing.
It's
You
like
see
sex
how
and
that
drinking.
memory was actually fairly good.
Yeah.
So,
A 20-year-old's gonna have thousands of those.
yeah.
My first
But
memory
they
was
also
I was
have
two.
bad, but it's about their experience. Like, despite the bad that a 20-year-old might have gone through, it's still the fact that they're surviving after that. So isn't it worth it that they continue their life?
But you know what else it is? It's the fact that, let's be realistic. I guess in, average, like quotations around average circumstances, a person who's 20 years old, their parents are probably not having more children. A person who's 3 years old might be a very different story. Parents are probably having more children.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that having another child's gonna, replace the first one, but I'm saying there's more opportunity for the parents of the 3-year-old rather than the parents of the 20.
I can't lie, I'd save the 20-year-olds.
Am I the only one who saved the baby?
They're so much ahead of them, and they've actually thought about their future.
We
But-
think they have. We don't know that.
But
Who
realistically-
hasn't done that?
No, but some people at 20, like I know a couple of my cousins and people who were like, at 20 years old, I changed my life and I didn't know I was doing.
Oh, and
for
just
years.
saying, this is also like
Yeah.
very Western notion of childhood type of thing. Because there are like children in, I think it was Bolivia or something, where they're expected to like, at 5 years old, they're expected to work in their community, actually have a job, everything. It was like Northern Uganda, they're cast out at 3 years old and expected to fend for themselves because they think that it's too much of a struggle living life just as an adult, and they didn't want the burden of children. So if you were to have a child, they'd be cast out at 3. So all of this that we're talking about is very Western. So thinking from a Western perspective, it makes sense that you do think of your future by the time you're 20, because education is compulsory until 18.
Right.
It's not even necessarily thinking about your future. It's just they have so much ahead of them. Not that a baby doesn't, but a baby isn't like a 3-year-old isn't even considering what they're doing the next
Yeah, I
day.
think it's the mental capacity
Yeah.
of a 20-year-old compared to a 3-year-old. And the fact that they're sleeping, so they don't understand what's going on. They're not crying out for help or anything. But you've got 3 20-year-olds who probably have their life flashing before their eyes, and they're thinking, is this all that I have? 20 years of my life.
But I
And
have
that's
to
it.
say, we are nearly 20, and I understand that because I know Nina has a little sister who is 4. But I'm nearly 20. Well, nearly. I'm thinking, okay, but if I was choosing between saving 3 17-year-olds and 3, 2-year-olds, I'd probably choose just because I relate to a 17-year-old at this moment.
Yeah.
But
That's
maybe
fair.
when I was like 10, I'd probably be like, no. That's what I'm saying. You've seen a 3-year-old every day. You care for her every day. I assume you might throw her around.
No.
Yeah,
You might be
quick.
possible when she first saw her baby back. You
No,
never know.
I never did that. Okay, I tried so hard to bond with my little one, but my little one.
My little
My baby.
My baby. No.
So Nina, what do you think?
I don't know, like,
4-year-old?
I don't think that's, killing 20-year-olds. I do think, logically, they have more ahead of them. They could like grow up to, like, I don't know, cure cancer, whatever. But like, I just don't think like I could live with myself if I killed like for like 5 kids like that, and then I saw my sister every day and they'd be like, I killed like your friends, I killed people who were just like you know, like I like, you know, like. And at 3, she was very intelligent. She's very intelligent. Like I would say that, of course, to my sister, but like she had a really big vocabulary. She knew lots of stuff. She was starting to write. Like she had a lot of potential, and I think 3-year-olds have a lot of potential to like do good. You know, like it could be like child prodigies or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
Similar to a Sybil thing about how because you have a sibling, same that similar age, it's more like relatable. Yeah.
But I was just gonna say, you were saying that you would agree that Kitty's very smart. Can I say her name?
Yeah, that's fine.
She's very smart because she's you're her sister, and of course you say that if you told me at 7 that my little brother's really smart, I would have thrown you out the room. I'd be like, get out!
Oh, you're tripping.
You lot are wrong. But yeah, I think that's very. I just think it's important to consider what the person who's giving that answer. Family situations. I've got 2 brothers. I'm in the middle. It sucks, but I've got a little brother. He's 13 now. I've got an older brother. He's 21. Yeah. I'd probably choose the 20-year-olds.
So I don't know anyone like who's 20, so like at all.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I kind of knew my brother when he was 20, but he was at uni, that's the thing. I know him now, he's 24, turning 25 this year, and it's like, I know what he's capable of. Like, I've seen him graduate from his masters, and it's like, that's great.
He's starting
and
to
he was
contribute
very much capable, and now he's contributing because he's working and everything. And it's like, he does have
the
a
tax
potential, and he's very smart. So I feel like for me, it would be the 20-year-olds.
Tabby?
With the 3-year-olds, you don't know what's going to happen to them in the future. The 20-year-olds, at least you know that they've made it that far. Like, they have potential. So, next one. Your mum versus the scientists with the cure for the next widespread virus.
First of all, how do they know what the next widespread virus is? This is a
No,
hoax.
but that's
COVID
like
2.0.
no, but that's like saying, like, say we did go through like the beginning of COVID again, and then somebody literally in like the first, say like, I don't know how long it takes to come up with a cure though, that's the thing, but within the most reasonable amount of time, and as soon as possible they come up with a cure, would you want to go through the whole process of COVID, or would you want to limit it?
Okay, statistically, logically, it makes more sense to kill my mum.
Yeah.
But even just saying that, I feel so bad saying it right now.
So once again, it brings back the whole thing of stress now versus stress in the actual situation and whether you'd actually kill your mum.
At this point, guys, I'm just gonna jump out the trolley, man. Like, this is too much.
So what's the lesser of 2 evils?
Where's the trolley pointing to right now? My mum.
What would you rather?
And I don't have to make the choice. I say the
But you're
scientist.
still making the choice.
I'm still making the choice, but I feel like it's less to blame on myself.
See if you could, like, I don't know, if someone asked, like, oh, I didn't see the lever, or it was too late, or whatever. You know.
But you do see the level.
Well, yeah, but like you
Okay,
lie.
guys, it's lever or lever, because I can't say both. We all know my English isn't English.
Yeah, podcast.
No, we're editing that out.
She says to everything.
What would you guys do?
Says my mum.
Yeah, I love my mum. Also, mum literally, like, she's really smart. She could probably invent the cure.
Realistically, I don't think any of us are saving the scientist.
No.
It's
I don't know.
First of all, it's a cheat.
No,
Well, that's gonna get a
Then
beefing
mum
when
I
I see.
think no, but this
episode.
is the thing that I was talking about how not everybody has this whole ideal nuclear family thing, and it's not all sunshine and rainbows when you think about, oh yeah, I'd love my mother, I want to save her 100%. I'm not saying I don't love her. I'm just saying, would I want to go through COVID-19 all over again, and knowing that all of those people
Lost their lives,
everything.
Because, like, I mean, like, logically, my mum is a therapist. She helps out loads of people. She talks, like, to kids about stuff. And she has my sisters look after. It's like, me and my brother, realistically, we probably do okay. We grow up and we leave. But then my sister is still there. And I just do not trust my dad to look after my sister properly. I'll be honest. So I want my mum to survive.
That's the thing, I'm not saying, like, my mum doesn't contribute, but like, given her job and stuff, it's very, well, you consider it to be pretty unaverage, though. But that's the thing, like, I'm not saying she doesn't contribute to people's lives, but she doesn't do it in the same way as a scientist would when you have the cure for something, which can affect the whole world. But my mum only affects me and my family.
I mean, my mum is a doctor. She
It's different.
It's different, but also going back, like, let's say she wasn't a doctor. Let's say she was a stay-at-home mum.
Mhm.
The impact she has on my brothers and myself, the support system she is for our family. I think it's just too much. Not.
It's like, would you be the same person you are
I
today
couldn't
without
do it.
her?
I don't know how my mum does it. Due to timing issues, I cannot be here for the rest of this episode. I'm Sybil, but I will be here for the full episode next time.
Okay, so the next question is, if you're a time traveller and there were 5 people on a track, but your grandfather was also on another track, who would you save?
Depends on how much we all value our lives, to be honest. Because my grandfather, they're yet to have, I'm going to assume it's my dad's. So they're yet to have my dad's, who's yet to meet my mum, and then therefore have me, my sister, and my brother. Thinking about, like, the children that all 3 of us are going to have, I think I would have to kill the 5 people.
It's essentially the question of kill yourself or save 5.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going to happen to the other 5 people. And plus, he doesn't want to save himself.
I would kill the other 5 people. I would feel bad about it, but, like, I'm awesome. Why shouldn't I exist? Like, I should be allowed to do this. For all I know, I could, like, I don't know. If, my writing stuff works out, I could write a book that changes the world or something.
I think it's also, considering the fact that you're a time traveller, so you've actually already experienced your life. So I guess it depends on what point of your life you're at right now, and whether you want your parents to experience the life that they did. If they didn't live a very comfortable life, then are you willing to let them experience that when you have an opportunity to change it, is the question.
But the way of changing it is making sure that they never existed in the first place.
Yeah, which I personally would not want to do. I think.
Neither.
It depends on which grandfather it is, because the grandfather on my dad's side died before I was born, and my mum's dad died quite recently. So I feel like I would want to, it depends on which one it is, I guess.
Okay, 10 kids versus 10 world leaders.
Not all of our world leaders have been great so far, have they?
Like, what would you be going from? Like one from each continent? Or...
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously there aren't 10 continents, but...
Probably save the 10 kids. I feel like kids are much less corrupt than politicians, but then at the same
But then
time...
what happens if they grow up to be the next world leaders and they're not so great either?
It's inevitable.
But it's new potential rather than existing potential. I feel like I want to go with new potential, so I would take the 10 kids.
Yeah.
You don't
At
know
least
if they
the
grow up to
10
be actually
kids.
good leaders. Like, kids are a lot nicer than adults, I think. They can
If
be
the
really
10
fun.
kids are raised properly,
Yeah.
if you save them, they might appreciate their lives a bit more and consider what they're actually doing. Whereas 10 world leaders, you don't know their real intentions.
Maybe
to be
they'd be
honest.
like, hey, this has taught me, like, a lesson that, like, I want to create a world where people don't want to, like, voluntarily kill 10 world leaders. I want to make a world of good leaders.
Yeah. Or a world where these kind of situations don't even happen.
Because there are no trains.
No trains, yeah. We've reached our final one. 5 people versus your best friend. Which is sort of similar to the one before. 5 people versus family member.
I would say, given 2 of my best friends were previously in the room, one of them still is. And as bad as it may sound, best friends' memories, they can always stay. She's holding her heart like I stabbed her. But best friends' memories can always stay. And I think the loss of someone is something we'll all eventually experience. It's something that happens and it's inevitable. And 5 people's lives, I don't know, maybe I can make one of them my best friend.
Wow. That's
I was so thankful to you for saving me.
I'm just saying, I
That's
think
rough.
it's not that I don't value my best friend's life because they're my best friend. It's not like I don't value their family, but I think I can still respect their family and even do something for them. But the 5 people, it's 5 people. Again, if you really think about it rationally, it's 5 versus 1.
Speechless.
Yeah.
Oh
I'm
my
sorry.
goodness.
I'm sorry.
The thing is, I don't really have a best friend. I never really had a best friend. Because I class, like, friends, obviously you guys are friends, and Sybil's a friend, and, like, Sasha's a friend and stuff, but, like, I don't really have a lot of friends who I actually see as, like, really close to me. So, I don't know. I don't even know who I would choose as, like, my ultimate bestie.
You on the train ride.
I did have, like, a best friend who, like, I actually call my best friend in primary school, but I haven't talked to her in quite a while, so I don't know. Like, we're still kind of close. We still, like, go out and talk and stuff every couple of months, but, like, I don't know if it was her. I think I would feel. Yeah, actually, no. I would probably choose her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over 5 people.
Yeah.
You.
That's such a tough one. I don't know now. Probably my best friend, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, best friend and family first.
That's fair.
Sorry, 5 randos.
Besties before randos.
Yeah, would. Imagine one of those 5 people is your future killer. Then what?
Yeah, but imagine if one of those 5 people has the potential to be the best world leader.
Screw the world.
Or your future spouse.
My life first.
Maybe your future spouse.
Like, family
Let's think
first.
about the jobs that those people have as well. Like, what jobs would we classify as the most important within our society?
Whoa.
So it all depends.
But you don't know anything about them at the same time.
Yeah, you don't. All you know is everything about your best friend, but you know nothing about 5 people. And I think that for me, knowing that those 5 people could all have their own separate, unique potential, yet I knew my best friends, it feels a bit risky to kill 5.
And then it depends on, like, what you're saying about the jobs. Like, what do we class as, like, the most important job? I would say, like, therapy is probably high up there, because, like, everyone needs therapy. Just a little bit. And there are ones that are, like, more, like, controversial, like, being a police officer, for example, because, like, a lot of them are really corrupt.
It's like, who trains the policemen to be policemen?
Yeah.
The ultimate police chief. I don't know.
That's a pretty important job. Ultimate police chief. You decide who...
That's what it says on their door.
Yeah, what?
Okay, so thank you for listening. We hope you heard something at least a little bit insightful. Yeah, we will see you in the next episode.
Bye-bye.
Bye!